do I reach these kids? The reason that you think you can't get into college is because you haven't been taught how to cheat properly. How do you think white people always get ahead?
Hey there, welcome back. This is Pod and Deliver, and tonight we are reviewing a TV show, South Park's Season 12, Episode 5. This episode, Ruben, a former student of mine, actually he's a teacher now, named Salvador Aguilar, said, hey, you got to watch this episode with Ruben. I would love to see Ruben's reaction to this. And so I hope he's watching so he could see a reaction. But Ruben, this episode, I'm going to say right away, made me feel a little uncomfortable. There's some pieces of it, I think you'll mention, that made me feel uncomfortable because, you know, I know the audience was going to listen to us. I was trying to figure out how to share it, but I do want to share the piece that I thought was really interesting, which was the stand and deliver play, right? Meaning, I think the character's name is it Cartwright? I believe is it Kevin? Is it Kevin Cartwright?
Eric Cartman.
And so this basically is an episode where they focus on the kind of what happened in stand and deliver. Kevin.
So it's a parody.
It's a parody. Yeah, it's a parody. Cartman, it goes to the school, predominantly African American, Latino, and he's there to teach them because he did this at his former school. He got these kids to pass a test, and they're like, "Hey, why don't you go to this other?" You know, the administration center. You know what? This would be great to send you to another school to help them out because they need to pass these exams. So they send him over, and he starts, you know, transforming himself, looking like Edward James Olmos, right? And he starts teaching, right? And he's not really teaching, Ruben. He's teaching the kids how to cheat, and that's the whole point of the episode. He's telling them to go forward, and every so often he'll say something like, you know, I'm here, you know, how do I reach these kids, right? And he does. I can't remember almost saying that in Stand and Deliver, but maybe he did. And so he goes, I'm here to teach calculus, right? And he has that little Latino accent, and that plays on for the 22 minutes of the episode. But, you know, I'm not gonna lie to you, but I did laugh. I mean, it's, you know, it's South Park. You know, it's a lot of, you know, silliness. And so I didn't go in thinking I'm gonna be like, you know, I'm gonna learn a lot here, and I'm gonna learn about teaching. Definitely not. But it was a parody, and it was funny at parts. But overall, you know, I can't recommend this to my mother or anybody else. But I did have a good laugh. So I would say probably. I don't know how I can't recommend it, you know.
Oh, what? It sounded like you liked it.
I did, but okay, I liked it. Is it fair? But I don't recommend it to my mother. Is that fair? But to anybody else, I guess.
No. You liked it.
I laughed. I did. It was funny.
But beware. You're saying basically
beware.
Certain audiences might be a bit too challenging, too racy,
a little racy. But I think people know that, right? When they see this.
No, not everybody's seen South Park.
Okay.
I don't think someone like our mom has even heard of South Park, probably.
No.
So no, you would have to say, maybe don't watch it if it's if it's rated R. That's what you're saying.
That's rated R. There we go.
So,
how did you feel?
So you are recommending it, but not for general audiences, for certain audiences. I am going to tell you, I'm not recommending it at all. I did not like it. I didn't think South Park for me is a very much of a hit and miss prospect for me. It's some of the things that they've done are very good, and some they don't work for me. This one just did not work. When I hear parody, I get excited. Are you kidding me? Stand and Deliver, and I would think there's a lot to satirize, but they didn't do it. It's that same joke. So yes. How do I reach these kids? He just did it in a East LA accent, and he repeated that joke. Is it a joke? That's the punchline. Why is that funny? Maybe the first time, I guess. There really isn't any insight into the characters. You know, you could have done something there with Jaime Escalante. I remember he was obsessed with this calculus thing. He was obsessed with reaching those kids. How does it impact at home? What does that do to him as a person, right? There's a lot to talk about there. There's a lot to joke about. They didn't do it. It was basically one joke, and that is, hey, if you want to pass, cheat, and then let me knife you down in basketball. I didn't laugh. I got it. I got the joke. It was okay. The Bill Belichick, oh, he cheats.
Right.
I got into that whole thing. I didn't think much of it. I don't recommend it. And by the way, people, the title of this episode, we can't even say. It's so obscene. And I agree. I wouldn't recommend it for that other reason that you mentioned, is that it's pretty filthy. So there's two parts to it. It's a different teacher they also satirize or make fun of, but it's really filthy. But that, to me, that portion of it. And by the way, I'm not commenting on.
You're not a prude either.
I'm not doing the prude thing. I'm not saying, oh, I'm so sensitive, I'm offended. I'm not offended by any of that. I just think you need to hit the mark. You need to hit the target. When you're trying to hit when you're aiming, you got to hit. And it didn't hit. That other part was unwatchable to me. It was terrible, which only made the overall episode worse. I couldn't sit through that again. And it's only like 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
I highly don't recommend this.
So we're a little different here. You highly don't recommend it, and I don't recommend it to mom. But if you like South Park, I think you'll laugh. There's some scenes that I haven't seen it in years, but it makes me want to watch another one just because I'm hoping it's not as crude. But at the same time, there's some lines that you just can't help but laugh. But with that being said, thank you for coming on with Pod and Deliver again, and join us again next time. And don't forget, subscribe, press that button, and we'll see you soon. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.